Pure desperation for the squad, likely to lose one of their newest members tomorrow night. In the Bronx this weekend, we saw what was really a political clown show. I've never seen anything like it. A desperation rally to keep a very unimpressive congressman in power. Jamal Fire Alarm Bowman, as we call him, has a primary tomorrow night, and it does look like he's likely going to lose. Bowman represents a lot of Westchester County as well as parts of the Bronx, so some affluent areas north of New York City, but also some urban areas as well. But his politics are way too radical for much of his district. Hillary Clinton wants the anti-Israel meathead congressman gone, endorsing his challenger, and that really hurt him. So in response, here's the Democrat Party when they know they need the black vote for a few minutes. Take a look at the rally over the weekend.
Tremendous, ultraviolet, shine blind, forensic. Killer B, soul 50 gold, 60 platinum. All right. I am the hip-hop congressman.
I'm the hip-hop congressman, said the fire alarm pulling former principal. Larry Elder is the chair of the Make America Just Again PAC. He's already laughing. Dick Morris is a former advisor to President Trump, or an advisor to former President Trump, I should say, and author of The Return, Trump's Big 2024 Comeback. Gentlemen, good to have you back on. Larry, what a spectacle we just saw.
Yeah, Rob, you have to laugh because if you don't, you cry. I mean, what a festival of hatred and anti-Semitism. Even the mayor of New York denounced it as hatred and anti-Semitism. And the Democrat Party has a real problem with anti-Semitism. Their leader in the House, Hakeem Jeffries, has an uncle named professor named Jeffries, who teaches at CCNY, who lost the leadership position because of his anti-Semitism. Even Chuck Schumer called the BDS, Boycott, Divest, Sanction, a movement that much of the Democrat left supports, anti-Semitic. Yet these guys are there. This is why the Democrats are beginning to lose finally the Jewish vote, and of course many of them are pro-Hamas / pro-Palestinian, and that. Who knew that AIPAC wanted to destroy our democracy? Who knew?
Yeah. And the fact that the energy that they brought, when they feel like they might lose their power, all of a sudden they show up and they're screaming at people. Dick, they're screaming cuss words at people. Take a listen.
We are going to show f***ing AIPAC the power of the motherfucking South Bronx. You coming after me. You coming after my family. You coming after my children. I'm not supposed to fight back. We're going to show them who the we are.
Well, Dick, I mean, that's political desperation at its best.
Well, I've noticed actually that there has been a real uptick in fomented black-white hostility by the left in the last few weeks as they feel they're losing the black vote.
Yes.
In many places, they have resurrected the idea of tearing down Confederate statues and changing the name of Confederate streets named after Confederate generals. And they're just doing that because they want to incite rebellion and to remind the black vote of how dependent it is on ideological shift. But as we listen to that segment that you broadcast, almost nauseating in terms of the adjectives used, let's realize that most Americans are not going to go into their TV set to find out what to think. They're going to go into a journey in themselves. And they're going to say, are prices higher? Is gasoline more expensive?
Right.
Are utilities more expensive? Are interest rates up? Is my paycheck keeping pace? And they'll understand the fraudulency of the Democratic approach. You don't have to be on TV to understand that. You just need to look into your own heart.
Larry, it makes you wonder. I mean, we saw what the left was capable of in 2020 and what they did with the George Floyd tape and the hysteria that went around that. Dick made a good point. I mean, as they lose that base that they've had for 60 years, as that base looks for better leadership and looks for a better promise, what are they capable of to try and keep them where they've had them for the last several decades?
Well, there are real world consequences to what AOC and, by the way, Bernie Sanders and Jamal Bowman said. Yeah. The Anti-Defamation League says that hate crime against Jews are up 25%, 50%, 100%, depending upon the city. In LA, recently, you had this attack on a Jewish synagogue. These are real world consequences. And people like AOC and Bernie Sanders need to look in the mirror and say, what have I done? By the way, is Bernie Sanders competing for the world's worst Jew? Is he moving George Soros from #1 to take over his spot?
Right. I can't figure out Bernie either. I mean, obviously, you know, it's, as you always find, he's a Marxist. They don't really, they're not really religious. Their religion is their politics, right? And I think that maybe he's abandoned his faith and everything else, and then he's just all in on this ideology that he spews with these people. But I can't imagine getting up there. I mean, if you heard the whole thing from Bowman, I mean, he's screaming about AIPAC. I mean, it was blatantly anti-Israel in every way. And Bernie's just on board with this. It is bizarre. You make a good point there. I got to leave it there. Larry Elder, Dick Morris, thank you guys. Appreciate it.